Cap, you are about to have a huge increase in abundance for completing a big cycle in your life. But first, there's a few things that you need to know in order to assure that you align with this new timeline that is preparing to open up for you. What do we have at the foundation for Cap? Temperance, Sag energy at the foundation of the reading. And this literally just followed what I said, Cap. Temperance is all about your purpose, aligning with your purpose. I just heard you are going to enter into an energetic space of balance and harmony. And this is coming out right at the foundation of the reading. So I feel the first thing that they want you to start focusing on here, Cap, to assure that you align with this new timeline is your vibration. Now, this is something that I mention quite a lot in my readings, and it's coming up here for you, Cap. But now's the time to really be focusing on your environment and the people in it. All of these things work in tandem to adjust your vibration to align you with different outcomes. Let me explain. As we make our way down our path through the journey that is our lives, we encounter different events, different situations, different people that have an influence on our frequency. Every human being is the result of a source of light that vibrates at a certain frequency, which results in each one of us actually being here. The frequencies that we vibrate at will determine what doors open for us and allow new opportunities to come into our life. So this is why you are being called right now to focus on all the fine details, because even the smallest things can make a difference right now, Cap. More often than not, it's all those little things in your life that add up and can be the deciding factor whether a new door opens for you. There's something I'm getting here surrounding some individuals that some of you may still have in your life. Some of you have left these people behind. And for some of you, these people are trying to weasel their way back in. But these are people who sold their soul and have reached the end of their path. There's a desperation inside the collective right now coming off of these people. These are people that ruled you out, that cast you out, that exiled you, so to speak, however that may be showing up for you. But now these individuals are starting to realize that they chose the wrong team, that they cast out the wrong individual, because you are being made an example of what it means to walk with divine faith and to weather the storms. A lot of you have been through some really difficult times in your life. You've had to witness life being almost easier for these devil's minions. But times are changing, Cap. We're entering a timeline where the first will be last and the last will be first. And the reason for this is because most of you weren't trying to be first. You were just happy to be here. You were just happy to be on your path. You were just happy to be put in a position to where you could quite possibly make a difference. And it's that driving force that is now resulting with the scales tipping in your favor. And right on the bottom of the deck, I have the Wheel of Fortune. So this particular Wheel of Fortune, we're on approach, right? We haven't quite gotten there yet. We can see it from the back. So here we are, and we can see very clearly that the wheel is turning over the devil. And this is reinforcing what I just said about the scales tipping in your favor. The Wheel of Fortune is also speaking about this turning point in your life. It's you entering into a new life cycle. This is all connected to your destiny. Most of the times, Cap, you have to feel those lows in order to know how to remove yourself from it, because that's a very valuable piece of wisdom, right? The knowing on how to remove yourself from that space. And that is going to serve you moving forward on your path, whether it's something that you arm yourself with, discernment, right, in order to help you further down your path, and or it's a piece of wisdom that you're able to bless other individuals with to help them overcome a struggle that you yourself have mastered. What do we have at the sacral, please? Perfect. Hangman, Pisces energy at the sacral. So this is really speaking about what I just said in regards to being exiled, cast out, right? Blacklisted, so to speak. It's like here you are hanging upside down, gaining a different perspective than these other individuals here. Okay, these individuals here are the people that, well, they ruled you out. These are the individuals that cast you out and pointed their fingers at you. These are the individuals that tried to make you feel like you were doing something wrong or you were crazy, that nobody will ever listen to you. These are the individuals that tried to tell you that you don't know what you're talking about. But what you're starting to realize now, Cap, is that there's us and them. You were sent here for a very specific reason. To be alive in this time is no coincidence. These people may not even be aware of it, but you were the one that was sent into their lives to weigh their hearts. Their treatment of you was meticulously logged by the recording angel Metatron, which is also the energy of the Wheel of Fortune, which I just saw. Their awareness of this is something that is starting to be illuminated now, because even after all of these attacks, after all of the resistance and obstacles you've had to face on your path, you're actually still standing. They thought for sure that some of these tactics they used would wipe you off the face of the planet. That sounds extreme, but for some of you, you've dealt with some pretty serious stuff here. Things that are almost hard to even comprehend. The awakening process is largely you actually coming to terms with that and not allowing these people to gaslight you and make you feel like there's something wrong with you. You know what you've been through. You know what you've witnessed. Some of you tried to push it down because you just couldn't really deal with the reality of some of these situations. But it's a futile effort, because the more you awaken to your path, the more the divine wants to unearth all that so you can step into your fully awakened version of yourself. You're also starting to realize that there's a passion brewing inside of you like never before, Cap. A lot of you are charging towards a new beginning that you never thought possible, or it almost felt like a dream when you were surrounded by these minions. But as you release these shackles, spiritually speaking, and you step on your path, you now understand that all which you once dreamed of is more than possible. All you have to do is show up for yourself. The dream has already arrived. What do we have at the solar plexus, please? Nine of Cups, Pisces energy again at the solar plexus. Now, this Nine of Cups is interesting because we see this little girl here, and there's this sort of greedy, envious energy that's coming off of her as she's watching these two little boys playing with these toys here. It just gives me an energy that these individuals are feeling like they missed the boat. They're now watching you in complete disbelief with what you've been able to accomplish in such a short amount of time, or this is future energy. They will watch in disbelief. As long as you've been putting the work in, you all know who you are. But you're entering into a time where your wealth is going to be measured by your knowledge and wisdom. And that is the key to abundance. See, abundance is a mindset. That mindset is influenced by that frequency that I spoke of, which is obviously influenced by your environments and the events in your life. And all of that causes you to vibrate at that certain frequency. That vibration emanates off of your auric field, and your reality starts to respond and align with that vibration, resulting in your waking life reflecting the abundance mindset. That's how this works. Material wealth, riches, all of that is a byproduct of the mindset. That comes with ease. But you are also manifesting this abundance into your life because you are using this wisdom to help light the way for others. That's what this life is all about. Being a guiding light in the dark for those who need assistance on their path. That is what I also call an evolutionary mindset. If you can reframe how you perceive success and abundance within the framework of what I'm explaining to you here, your entire reality will shift. You will see a level of success in your life like you have never seen, and you will feel a support that comes through from the universe that assures your place inside of that energy for the rest of your time in this life cycle, should you maintain yourself in that space. This is the kind of spiritual wealth and abundance that does not go away. And the reason for this, Cap, is because there are no shortcuts to this. You have to experience some life, gather some wisdom, accumulate those pieces of life experience that you can present to others as you make your way down the path of your life. Again, the evolutionary mindset. The individuals that have been creating these problems in your life, well, they took the shortcut. Like I said, they sold their souls. And there's this beautiful divine order that all of this is playing out in, because as they are starting to reach the end of their path, and all which they have accumulated, which was not for the greater good of all, it was essentially for a de-evolving mindset, are slowly beginning to lose it all. See, karma is interesting because it unfolds slowly. It's not all that obvious. These people just wake up one day and their life is completely changed. They lose one thing one day, then maybe a few months later they lose another thing. But because the karma is kind of spaced out, it's hard for them to recognize what's taking place. But now, a lot of these people are waking up to a truth that they are not ready to accept. There's a lot of people clamoring inside your energy, Cap. They're grasping onto whatever they can. And it's not difficult to see how this is also unfolding globally. See, what I found so interesting about the awakening process is that we're going through this as a collective, Cap. It's like we're all going through the awakening journey, and we're seeing a breakdown of our reality. It's very clear to recognize who's who. People can't hide anymore. The veil has been ripped back. A lot of these people still think that people can't see them for who they really are, but the only people that can't see these people for who they really are are NPCs, people that have just refused to wake up and are living on a lower vibrational timeline. See, there's this kind of split taking place right now. You only need to have a very short conversation with an individual to see really where they fall on the vibrational scale. So pay attention, Cap, because going back to what I said at the beginning of the reading, the focus really needs to be on the energies that you entertain right now. Let's switch decks. What do we have at the heart, please? High Priestess at the heart, Pisces energy, again. Magician, Gemini, Virgo energy at the throat. Wow. So exactly what I've been saying, Cap. Divine guidance. You are between worlds. There's this breaking down of the old timeline, and those that have been putting the work in are banding together and shifting to the new timeline, to the new reality. It's a paradigm shift. It's a recalibration. See, when you think about our vibrations individually, and then when you think about them collectively, it makes it easier to understand that when we are all vibrating in accordance with the divine's will for our life, like I've been picking up for you, Cap, it creates a global shift. This is what we hear about. Energy of leaving the kind of dark time that we are currently in. So it's very much a vibrational war taking place. There's all of the individuals that refuse to wake up, refuse to accept the truth, and are vibrating lower. And then there's all of you. And that difference in between is the spiritual war that is underway right now. It's a kind of invisible war, but it has a way of showing up catastrophically globally. This High Priestess is at the heart of the reading, right smack dab in the center. The divine is dropping a lot of knowledge on you right now, Cap. Downloads, ideas, maybe some messages in your dreams as well. All of these things are working subconsciously to arm you with vital pieces of information to help level you up into the new timeline. If you've been putting the work in, then there's no reason why you can't be trusting what you're feeling intuitively right now, Cap. In fact, there's an energy inside the collective right now. It's a kind of spell that has been sent out, cast out vibrationally to make a lot of you feel very confused right now, to make a lot of you doubt yourself and the path you're on. If this is you and you are feeling that way, just know that that's projective energy. You are picking up on all of those that were once closest to you and their lack of growth and refusal to awaken in their own life. These people don't want to come to terms with the fact that maybe they were wrong about everything. A lot of these people I'm hearing were the kinds of individuals that tried to play God in your life as well, Cap. These people may have had material wealth or success at some point in their life, but they lacked that spiritual wealth, that abundant mindset. So this is why there's so much chaos happening right now, because all of these people in one clean swoop are beginning to lose it all. And then we have the magician at the throat, which is where you are at, Cap. You are well on your way to turning these visions into actual reality now. These dreams that you thought were just dreams. You know, it's so interesting to me, right? I remember not that many years ago when I used to think about my dreams as things that weren't attainable, things that I didn't deserve. I used to think of them as fantasies. But after I started to shift my mindset, I started to realize that those were placed there for a reason. We all placed those inside of ourselves before we even came here to remind us why we came here to begin with. When we had that sit down at Source with the divine, and we went over our mission statement before we even came here, we were told, hey, you're going to lose your memory of everything that's happened before that point of inception. But we're going to plant these dreams inside of you because those are going to help you remember why you were there to begin with. They're not dreams at all. They're actually insight into you fully realized in this life cycle, Cap. They're you realizing how much potential, power, and purpose you have inside of you, and understanding that the only thing that stands in your way of actually pulling those into your actual everyday waking life is the shift in your frequency by way of all the tactics that I've already outlined. So we are laying a very clear blueprint on how you go about pulling this off, Cap, and we're only 5 cards into this reading. Magician at the throat. What do we have at the third eye? 6 of Pentacles, Taurus energy in reverse at the third eye. There's an energy of coveting here, Cap. This is that opposing force. These individuals feel like they have been cheated out of something by witnessing your growth and success. Rather than understanding that they took a wrong turn on their path and beginning to put the work in on themselves, they would rather try and create imbalances, energetically speaking, on your path to interrupt the flow of abundance into your life. Your path has been way harder than their path, but they think they deserve what you are receiving. They think that they can take credit for all the work that you've actually done inside the collective and on your life. You see, working on yourself, self-improving, going through the difficult process that we've been outlining here, is why this new timeline is opening up for you. And this 6 of Pentacles at the third eye is clearly representing the evolutionary and de-evolving mindsets that I've been picking up in this reading. You are in communion with the universe. These individuals are not. And even after witnessing your growth and how you're moving on your path, these individuals still refuse to surrender their beliefs, which are all based on this de-evolving mindset. It's all about, what can I get? What can I accumulate? I'm very self-entitled, very selfish. What do we have at the crown, please? Oh, again. Wow, Cap. High Priestess at the crown. Your intuition is on fire. And the fact that we have this High Priestess coming out at the crown is speaking about how strong your connection is with Source at current. But this is all a result of your faith, your understanding of how things actually work, which is all a result of the wisdom that you've accumulated on your path through those highs and lows. There's this unbelievable universal love and protection that is surrounding you right now, Cap. People can see it on you. They can hear it on you. Your vibration, your frequency is so strong, it's so powerful that you're transforming lives without even knowing it. You strike fear into these minions like they've never felt before, because even though they refuse to surrender, they're now starting to realize that the individual that they came for and formed these weapons against is somebody who marches with the divine order, somebody who has a seat at the table, somebody who was sent here for a mission that can't even really be articulated with words. That person is you, Cap. What do we have at the foundation, please? Ace of Pentacles at the foundation. So this is speaking about what I said earlier on in the reading in regards to these individuals selling their soul. Gives all worldly power and treasures, makes one rich quickly, right? So this is representing the contract that they signed spiritually. This is a contract that they cannot break free from. Not now, not ever in this life cycle anyway. They're going to have to wait till the next. This is very clear here. You chose to walk in faith. No matter how difficult your path was, these individuals chose to sell their souls for worldly pleasures and riches, only to lose it all now as you are preparing to step into the greatest season of your life. You know, we always hear about the scales tipping. This is what it looks like. This is how it goes down. A lot of you have had to watch all of these people seemingly be living a life that was blessed by something that you couldn't even put into words. You were working away on your path, living a life that was for the most part in alignment. Your heart was in the right place. Sure, you made a bunch of mistakes. We all do. Sure, you had to learn a bunch of lessons because it was necessary, but you always felt like something was off. You just got to a point where maybe you even said to yourself, is my way of thinking actually the wrong way? And what they're doing is right? For me personally, Cap, I was on that path for a very, very long time. It was really difficult. There was some real dark times on that path. But the one thing that I always had within me was my faith. I felt tethered to something. My faith in Source and my connection with Source kept me going. And I genuinely believe that people who are on this path don't break that tether, no matter how difficult the path gets. And I know you understand exactly what I'm talking about, Cap, because that's all of you. What do we have at the sacral, please? Two of Pentacles, Capricorn energy at the sacral. So this is also very clear, and this reinforces what I said at the beginning of the reading. As we can see here, there's all these individuals here, right? Cast you out, so to speak. And then right here, reconciles friends, okay? So here they are trying to come back, and see how this demon looks like they have a broken wrist, right? It's like they're trying to come back and make you feel sorry for them, but they haven't changed. All they're trying to do is get you trapped back up on that lower timeline so they can feed on your light. When these individuals sell their soul, so to speak, they also put all of you up as a sacrifice. You essentially become a source of nourishment without even really knowing it to these lower vibrational minions and entities that feed off of your light. And how do they do that? Well, they do that by keeping you down. If they can crush your dreams, if they could smother out your light, then they are able to take that light and use it to barter with the devil. Simply put, it's like the devil saying, if you utilize these tactics in Capricorn's life, if you keep Cap off of their path by any means necessary, by keeping them asleep inside the matrix of their life, then I will supply you with wealth, worldly riches, fame for some, whatever it is. But Cap can never wake up to the truth. And if Cap does wake up to the truth, then you are going to have to pay a very hefty fee. And that's the simplest way I can put this, Cap. And as wild as that sounds, it is very, very real. But I think most of you are hip to that now. Most of you have gotten to the point where you've completely awakened and you can see it very clearly. You understand how this reality, spiritual realm, actually works and gets down. You understand that there is a vibrational war taking place and that you are engaged in it in some capacity. What do we have? The solar plexus, please. Lovers, Gemini energy at the solar plexus. And Cap, I actually picked up the wrong deck of cards. I wasn't actually supposed to start pulling from this deck until I got to here. But I'm going to go with it. I'm being guided to pull from the deck that I was supposed to pull from and double down on top of this Lover's card. What do we have at the solar plexus, please? Because there's a message here. Okay, let's see. 3 of Cups. Wow, okay. If you guys know my readings, you know this is not something I typically do. Usually I use another one of these cards and then shift this other deck here. But there's no mistakes in tarot. Everything happens as it's supposed to. So this Lover's card here in this reading is representing you aligning with your higher self. It's an energy of calibration. But there's this force with this 3 of Cups right here that is, again, trying to stop this alignment from fully realizing. And look what it says here. Reconciles friends. Talks of the past. So reconciles friends, talks of the past. So these energies trying to come back, pull you back into that karmic cycle to stop the alignment from taking place, right? See this little girl here? Jealous and envious. Nine of Cups, which represents abundance. Jealous of this abundance that is preparing to flood through for you, if it hasn't already. Okay, for some of you, I'm hearing that it's already started to trickle in. But the Three of Cups from this deck, this is all about gossip. It also represents people that are very untrustworthy, which goes without saying. But all these people bring with them is misfortune and loss. So they're really highlighting this energy that is trying to weasel their way back in. Don't entertain this in any capacity, Cap. I just heard very clearly, give them an inch and they will take a mile, okay? You have way too much to lose, because this energy cannot go with you into this new timeline. This is not how this works. The whole reason why you're graduating onto this new timeline is because you have awakened to the truth of who these individuals actually are and what role they play in your reality in this life cycle. And sadly, these are family members, friends, people that you thought would always be in your life. This has not been easy, but you run the risk of unraveling all the work you've put into yourself up until now if you fall for this trap. And that's what it is. It's a trap. Because remember, they're bartering your light to the devil. And right on the bottom of the deck, I have this Knight of Swords. Now, this Knight of Swords is a very sneaky kind of energy. It's an energy that's very competitive. And it's an energy that's very, well, it's an energy of deliberate cruelty, okay? Which really speaks about how desperate they've become. I wouldn't even be in the same room as these individuals, and I'll just leave it at that. Their desperation knows no bounds. What do we have at the heart, please? Wow, again, unbelievable. I just switched decks, and I get the same card in this deck, right there. Jealousy. For some of you, these are people that you used to party with. Maybe you drank with these people. These are people who are still up to their old sort of ways, people that have a lot of bad habits. And for most of you, these are behavioral patterns that you've broken in your life. You've graduated on from this. I'm hearing something in regards to some of you out there that gave up some addictions or behavioral patterns that were keeping you in a lower vibration, that were the result of you not being able to have this breakthrough here now. But you've let those things go, which is allowing your vibration to go up, and you have the breakthrough. And I know this one based on experience. The devil kept chains on me through alcohol. When I gave up drinking alcohol over 5 years ago, I was able to release that spiritual bondage and step onto my path. And each one of us has something that the devil tries to use to tempt us. For some people, again, it's through alcohol. For some, it could be through drugs. For some, it could be through lusty sort of behavioral patterns. There's many different ways this can show up. It can even show up in things having to do with your health. But you will always be able to connect one of these things that they used to hold you back with to one of the 7 deadly sins, right? It's like they use one of those 7 sins as a weapon against you. And then we have the King of Swords, victory. So this is really speaking about your understanding, Cap, of everything that we've channeled through up until this point. You get it. So if anything, what I've laid out for all of you here is to confirm everything you've been feeling and to give you a sense of validation to what you've achieved on your path and that it hasn't gone unseen. Yes, we live in this reality where it does go unseen, but this is why it's very important to keep a strong connection with Source, with your higher self, with the divine, by whatever means you feel called to take up in your life. And this is very important to practice in this current timeline that we are in right now, because we are being bombarded with so much distraction and disruptions on our paths. The energetic storms that a lot of us are finding ourselves in at current can be very overwhelming. I mean, just looking at the state of the world and some of these heartbreaking catastrophes that are happening all over the place, it's a lot. But the best way that you can honor all of those that have fallen in this spiritual war, Cap, is by pushing forward in power. You have to. You have to keep fighting. This King of Swords is stacked with this High Priestess, which is telling me very clearly that the divine is guiding you through this battle. Here's the divine. Here's you. You're a waymaker. You're helping those in need without even knowing it sometimes, Cap, because you're vibrating this frequency that is having an influence on the environment around you, however that shows up for you. And I have the Hermit on the bottom of the deck here. Word of God creating all. Alchemy and transformation. Rules, natural events, helps with spiritual progress. So this part, rules, natural events, this is really picking up on what I've been feeling throughout this reading in regards to this vibrational war and how it's erupting in our reality by way of some of these catastrophic events that are taking place on the earth, whether it's all of the war that's going on, whether it's these natural disasters. There's just a shifting of this paradigm, and all of these things are the result of that. What do we have at the throat, please? Wow, unbelievable. And look what just fell out, the Hermit. So I just saw this card on the bottom of the deck. So everything I said, when that happens, right? When I see a card on the bottom of the deck, and then I start shuffling and it actually comes out, it puts a tremendous amount of weight behind that energy. You're really coming out in this Magician stacked with Hermit energy at the throat here. I'm also getting a very strong message here around how you're manifesting. It's like speaking affirmations, speaking into your everyday waking life. This has a way of programming your mind, which is going to lend itself to you shifting into this new timeline. It's like you're setting a standard by the way that you speak to the environment around you, Mother Nature, yourself. It can even be you communicating with animals, wildlife around you. That's a very important one. The Hermit is an energy of just deep introspection and allowing your inner compass to guide you. When you feel confused, when you're lacking clarity on your path, you just go within and you're given access to this space where it's just you and the divine, Cap. So don't forget this. Hermit is also an energy of solitude. So that may be a message for a lot of you right now as well. Now's a great time to just really be focused on you, or if you have loved ones around you that are on your path with you, just really keeping it simple right now and improving what you have. There's a lot of retrogrades going on, so now's not a time to be trying to integrate new energies into your life. And this just really speaks about other people. What do we have at the third eye? Perfect. Three of Cups, Cancer energy at the third eye. So your spirit guides and the divine, like I said, have been watching all this unfold. We have 2 Three of Cups here in reverse, right? I read these as negative polarities. Then we have this Three of Cups here, which is read in its positive polarity, which is you being guided by source into this new timeline. Fame and renown influences commerce, voyages, and great discoveries. And whenever I get this card, it's like there you are. You're a child of the universe, and you're surrounded by your spirit guides. And there's 7 there. Those are representing to me the 7 heavenly virtues, right? So goes back to what I said with this Three of Cups and these individuals using one of the 7 deadly sins as a weapon against you. But you are armed with the 7 heavenly virtues. Wow, unbelievable. The way that this is just completely unfolded. Everything is locking into place perfectly in this reading. And what I said about you having a seat at the table, right there, confirmation, the right hand of God. You have a lot of support around you right now, Cap, whether you realize this or not, because it's all in spirit. You have an army around you. And as long as you stay on your path, most issues that you may face in your everyday waking life will be resolved relatively quickly because the divine is with you, arranging things behind the scenes to help keep your path clear. What do we have at the crown to close this out for Cap, please? Wow, unbelievable. The King of Swords again, so we have it twice. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy, the exalted God, victory, grants victory and protection from lightning. Literally just confirms what I just said. You are a protected child of the divine, and as long as you stay on your path, they will never be able to strike you down with their lightning, so to speak. And I have nothing further to add. This is a very clear blueprint of what is taking place inside your lives, energetically speaking, at this current time. Cap, this is the message I have available to you, depending on where you are on this timeline, should you choose to accept. I'm going to go ahead and leave it here. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you would like a personal reading, you can find all of my contact details in the description below this video, and thank you for your donations. Take care.